This is Mikel Brady, who attempted a prison escape that led to the deaths of 4 prison workers at Pasquotank Correctional Institution in North Carolina.
I stabbed him like 4 to 8 times. I hit Jeffrey Howe until he stopped moving. I don't know how many times I hit him with a hammer.
Brady was serving a 24-year sentence for an attempted murder conviction after shooting at a North Carolina state trooper. 4 years into that sentence, he and 3 other inmates brutally murdered 4 prison workers using hammers and scissors.
That man, Mikel Brady, beat that man, George Midget, like he was trying to bust concrete.
Brady attempted to scale the fence, but officers stopped him and took him into custody at gunpoint.
It was like a bloodbath, and I stepped in between Jeffrey and Wendy, and I slid trying to get in because the whole elevator floor was nothing but blood.
During the trial, prosecutors argued that Brady had planned the attack and showed no remorse for the killings.
We know who originated the plan. We know who led the plan.
After Brady was found guilty, he took the stand at his sentencing.
I'm up here to tell the truth. You can ask me anything you want. I'm going to tell the truth. Whether it hurts me, whether it helps me. I don't care about that.
You don't believe you're crazy, do you?
No, I don't think I'm crazy, no.
And you do know the difference between right and wrong?
Yes.
So you know murder is wrong.
Murder is a different name for a death, but yes.
Your freedom meant more than their lives.
Yes.
And now the judge reads the jury's recommendation.
Jury unanimously recommending that the defendant be sentenced to death.
Brady seems completely emotionless, and the judge later agrees on the death penalty. He now sits locked up in Colorado awaiting execution. This is Austin Myers and Timothy Mosley, who were both convicted of murdering 18-year-old Justin back in Waynesville, Ohio. The 2 men, Myers and Mosley, went to Back's house in an attempt to rob a safe that belonged to his father, and during the robbery, Back was strangled with a choke wire.
The idea of strangling them, that way it would create no mess, pretty much be an easier job to handle. Obviously, Justin was trying to put up a fight, and he wasn't overpowering us.
Justin Back was then stabbed 21 times, resulting in his death.
Justin was trying to ask us why. He was pleading to stop and pretty much begging for his life.
On trial, Mosley testified against Myers to obtain a plea bargain, where he pled guilty and was sentenced to life in prison. Finally, Myers took the stand in front of the jury, asking them to spare his life for the sake of his family, in hopes of avoiding the death sentence.
If you choose for me to die, it's only going to cause more pain and suffering for another family, not me. It won't hurt me. I won't feel anything. It's going to hurt more innocent people.
This is now the father of Justin Back speaking.
I'm not going to stand up here and tell you how much I hate you. That is without question. I would just hope that every time you close your eyes at night, you see my son, Justin.
After the jury recommended the death sentence, this is Myers' last chance to plead for his life in front of the judge.
I think there's a lot of good things I can do with my life if you allow me to keep my life.
And the judge doesn't accept his plea, handing down the maximum sentence.
The defendant does not understand how precious life is. Therefore, the sentence of death shall be imposed upon Austin Gregory Myers on the charge of aggravated murder.
Nothing but a slight nod at just 19 years old, this made Myers the youngest individual in Ohio to be placed on death row. He is currently awaiting execution at Chillicothe Correctional Institution.
There were so many lives destroyed by this, and it was just for nothing. I mean, there was no money in the safe. There was nothing in there. They did this for basically nothing.
This is Nikko Jenkins, who was convicted on 4 counts of murder after going on a killing spree over 10 days in Omaha, Nebraska. At 15 years old, Jenkins was sent to a youth correctional facility and later served a 10-year sentence in prison for carjacking and assault. A month after his release, Jenkins shot and killed 2 individuals during a robbery. 8 days later, his next victim, a former inmate he had originally met in prison, was shot and killed in his own garage. 2 days after that, Jenkins killed his 4th victim during a carjacking. He was arrested for unrelated charges, but it was then that police were able to link the ammunition used in one of the killings to Jenkins.
Do you not realize I got Nico Jenkins? Do you not realize that? I got Nico Jenkins. I got you. What do you mean you got me? I got your DNA at the murder scene. I got your DNA in the car. Sir. I got the weapon. I got Nico Jenkins.
Jenkins pleaded no contest to 4 counts of first-degree murder. He also waived his right to a jury trial, meaning a 3-judge panel will decide his guilt or innocence.
Each one of these murders was a deliberate and planned act. The victims were pre-selected and the murders were purposeful.
After Jenkins is found guilty of all 4 murders, he sits mostly still with only slight movement and now comes his sentencing.
Therefore, this panel finds that the death penalty is appropriate, should be, and is hereby given for each of the 4 murders by the defendant.
As Jenkins is sentenced to death, he appears completely unfazed. He is currently incarcerated at the Nebraska State Penitentiary awaiting execution. This is Martez Abram, who was convicted on 2 counts of murder for the killings of 2 Walmart employees in South Haven, Mississippi. Abram had worked at the Walmart but was suspended after he allegedly brought a knife into the store. On the day of his suspension, he returned with multiple weapons and opened fire, killing store managers Anthony Brown and Brandon Gales.
He was laying on the ground with his eyes open, and I ran up to him and I looked at him. I said, Anthony, honey, please say KC one more time.
He also shot a police officer, who survived thanks to his bulletproof vest.
Once I got out of my vehicle, I heard gunshots, and I felt the pressure of the bullet hit my back.
He was arrested on the scene, and now in court, Abram admits to all of the crimes.
That's you, isn't it, sir?
Yes.
Look at it, please, sir.
Yes.
Mr. Gale is on the floor going down at this point, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay, and that's you shooting him, right?
Yes.
Look at the screen, sir.
Yes.
That's you shooting him?
Yes.
And you admit that you shot him in cold blood?
Yes.
You shot him again, didn't you?
Yes.
After that, you went back to the toilet paper roll, didn't you?
Yes.
This is the wife of one of the victims, delivering a victim impact statement.
You took Anthony from me on the exact day, 20 years earlier, that we had our first date.
And now, this is when the judge will decide Abram's fate.
In count 1, I will sentence you to death. Count 2, you will be sentenced to death. In count 3, you will be sentenced to life in the penitentiary.
As Abram hears that he will be receiving the death penalty, he stands silently. He now sits on death row awaiting his execution. This is Markeith Loyd, who was convicted of murdering a police officer in Orlando, Florida.
I'm breaking the lecture, but somehow I have absolutely don't know nothing about, and they frame me.
Loyd was already on the run from police after killing his former girlfriend, who was pregnant with his child. A month later, he was spotted in a Walmart, walking inside the store. Moments later, Orlando Police Lieutenant Deborah Clay arrived. She grabbed a cart and entered the store. Reportedly, they crossed paths multiple times outside the store. Lieutenant Clay was notified and attempted to stop and arrest Loyd, which led to a shootout. Lieutenant Clay was killed during the encounter, being shot 4 times. Following the murder, Loyd fled again, sparking a 9-day manhunt. He was eventually located, and during his arrest he tried to escape, losing his left eye in the altercation. In court, Loyd took the stand and stated that he believed everyone was out to kill him.
And I was just reacting, Mary. I was just reacting. Even when they opened the door, I just reacted. I fired 2 shots, I just reacted.
The jury returned a verdict finding him guilty.
It really hurts deep down inside.
This is Lieutenant Clay's sister, delivering a victim impact statement.
She stood in the place as my mother when I didn't have one. I truly miss my sister. I truly miss her.
And this is the moment Loyd hears that the jury has unanimously recommended the death sentence.
We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Markeith Loyd, should be sentenced to death.
Loyd seems to mouth something to the public. A few moments later, Loyd has.
You've been trying to kill me. People are trying to bring me for murder.
All right, why don't we remove Mr. Loyd from the courtroom?
These cases show the devastating consequences of violent crime. Each offender was convicted of multiple murders and sentenced to death, leaving families and communities to cope with unimaginable loss. They now remain on death row, awaiting the execution.